Welcome to Researching the Revolution, Historical Databases and Documents. In this presentation, we will make an effort to examine the revolution from all different perspectives and go through the different ways in which you can research it on your own. I just want to give you the tools, provide you with the means where you can research it, and I want to give kind of the blueprint for that. So I want to try to take you through all the different ways that can be done, whether it's databases, researching documentation, going through genealogy, uh, videos, podcasts, anything like that, going through battle maps. If you're like an auditory learner, a visual learner, whether you prefer to read or listen, anything like that. And so I just kind of want to take you through the basics of the tools that you could use to follow along and get a semblance of how you could move forward with your own personal research, starting with what we have to offer here. So, um, so we could see a good place to start is Chronicling America. Um, This is the hub through the Library of Congress's website. I have the URL listed there. Um, it provides free access to historic newspapers published through 1963. So it's not just for things related to the revolution, but it is for a lot of things um, in that area, in that scope, and can be used for, again, for things like researching the revolution. It could be used for um, a lot of different research facilities and all different areas that you would like to pursue, but one way is definitely researching the revolution itself. It contains high resolution scans of actual newspapers from the late 1700s, and so this is very helpful for getting an like firsthand account of what was going on at the time. So you could see it in real time, whereas, a lot of what we consume about the revolution is things that are more contemporary and looking back on how people felt. Whereas this, you kind of get um, in real time, firsthand accounts of what's going on and what people are feeling about um, different things that are happening related to the revolution. I'll go through a little bit of that in just a minute. And so you could, like I said, track information as it's being dispensed in real time, um, which is really important to kind of understand it from a different perspective. I feel like so much of what we rely on now is just, you know, modern day historians kind of trying to take the temperature of how people felt. But when you get it in their own words, you could kind of understand things a little bit differently. Um, so yeah, access information in real time as the events unfold. This is important for knowing how people felt about different things. Get a sense of where the colonies were headed at the time. You can kind of get the sense through these. It leans heavily on opinion pieces back then, but there were a lot of screeds about how people felt about the revolution, but you could kind of see those adapt over the years. Um, the original printings of now famous images and passages, as you can see in the slide, I have the join or die um, image there, and I will be able to bring that up in just a minute and show how we go through different things related to researching on the Library of Congress. So let's take a look through there. This is the Library of Congress's um, Chronicling America homepage, and this is contains hundreds and thousands of um, historical newspapers and articles and things like that, and it has high resolution scans of all those different things. So, um, again, you could use that kind of information. It has everything all the way back through, it says over here, through 1963. So it's very comprehensive, um, has a lot to offer. And for the purposes today, we will be searching the collections for the time period related to the revolution. So if we click on collection items, right here. That will take us to the field where we can then search, and we'll search some key terms just to get an understanding of what it would be like um, to look up things related to the revolution. So we're going to search Declaration of Independence, and we'll start, let's say, obviously we'll have to start in 1776. Um, let's start in June, and let's end in August. And that'll give us kind of a nice little window into the time to search these collections. So let's hope this goes through. All right. And as we can see, um, we have a number of uh, newspapers here listed on the side. So the collection items, it shows us all of the results that pinged the term Declaration of Independence. As we could see, we have a lot, from that time period in different newspapers. Um, and on the left-hand side here, it shows us which newspapers it's picking up on information from, as well as the dates. This is from August, this is from July, this is from June that year. And then we could see which state or colony, however you want to phrase that, of the time period that we're getting the information from. So it's interesting to see. Let's click on one and just kind of see where we're at right here. Um, so this should be, I believe this one, if I'm remembering correctly in my research, is the first reprinting of the actual Declaration of Independence in a newspaper. If I could get it to load. That has been a problem throughout the research is that sometimes the Library of Congress's page can be overwhelmed. I'm not really sure why, but it does happen. Um, this one, here we go. Now we have an actual text. Um, as we could see in people, this is a newspaper from the time and it's discussing the Declaration of Independence. So amazing stuff. Um, we could see somebody is writing an opinion piece on it, and then if we wanted to save that, all we need to do is hit go, and it would save it right to our computer. Um, let's try to get this one. Oh, here we go. And this one, as we could see on the left, um, it is a full text reprinting of the Declaration of Independence. And this is the first time it was that happened, July 20th, 1776. So, and again, if you wanted to save it, you could just hit go, and it would save it directly to your computer. Um, so let's do another search for different terms, just related also to the revolution. So we'll do Boston, and we'll do Bloody Massacre because I don't think they were calling it the Boston Massacre per se at the time, um, because it didn't that term hadn't yet taken hold. So, nope, that is much earlier. Okay. So, we could do so. It happened in 1770. So, if we want to do a few month span in 1770, that will provide us with a good window to search both Boston and Bloody Massacre, and it should ping some results and get those up. So let's see. Yeah. So we could see 14 such results through some March, June, July, September. So we see all throughout the year. We have a few different ones. Um, we'll just try to click on one. see if we could pull up something in that area. Um, let's see. Okay. While this loads, we're gonna go to our the next item on the Library of Congress's page, and this is the Pennsylvania Gazette. And this is a newspaper that was founded by Benjamin Franklin, as you see here. Um, and what this does is it has there aren't too many issues available. Most of them have been lost to time, but we will be able to see some issues. And so if we browse digitized issues, it'll show us all the ones that are available. As we see, not many. This is the only one available here, but for our purposes, you know, all right, this didn't load, so try it one more time. There we go. Okay. Um, so as we see here, Boston spelled with the F as they did, as it used to be an F instead of an S. Um, but luckily, when we search Boston, it still is able to find that. Um, and then here we have massacre, reference to Crispus Attucks as the victim. And so it's really, again, astounding to see what newspapers were saying at the time, because this is something that we just, we read in history books, textbooks, we've heard about, um, in lectures and things like that. And it's really incredible to see it as it occurs and what the reactions are to it. Um, so yeah. So for our purposes, again, back to the Pennsylvania Gazette. This is Benjamin Franklin's newspaper, and if we go to this state, again, there are not too many digitized items available. Most of them have been lost to history. But if we go here, so there are 4 different pages from this issue available. Um, and we could see that one of them here is the original printing of the Join or Die cartoon, about how we need to band together as a unified group of colonies, um, if we have any shot of making it as an actual country. And that was his persuasion tactic, was to make basically make a cartoon of it to show like how important it was. Um, so it's incredible that we still have not just the image itself, but the original printing, um, scanned and available for public use. So in general, I also pulled this up. This is the this is the main page for the Library of Congress, um, related to the American Revolution. So this is a good starting point for also a lot of your own research. Um, as we could see, there's digital collections, so Hamilton's papers, Franklin's papers, a lot of papers from all the different, um, very important characters of the Revolution. So exhibitions, as we see different, basically different, um, you know, here we have some videos that were pulled up. Um, we have documents related to different, uh, people related to the revolution, and then we have things like subscription databases, um, American periodicals, early American, uh, newspapers, Colonial America, a lot of stuff like that. And then external websites, we see American Archives, um, some related to the founding of the Revolution. We see military resources, Museum of the American Revolution, which we're going to go to down, uh, go through in a minute, spy letters related to the revolution. That's really a starting point that I would encourage a lot of people to start at because it has a lot of helpful information on the revolution. Um, Back to if our slides. So ancestry is also very important for genealogical research, and that can be important for something like the learning more about the revolution. You could use genealogy databases to research your family history, and if you did that, you might find that somebody, their family's been here longer than you thought, maybe that and that somebody actually did fight in the revolution. So if we have ancestry through our library's resource databases, Ancestry is only available to use in the library. Um, so if you want to use our computers, if you want to use your own computer, but use it, your own laptop, but use it in the library, you're welcome to do that, and it's free to use. Family Search is just like Ancestry. It's owned by the same people. It's like the exact same thing. It just has fewer resources available, but it is free to use anywhere. You're free to make an account, free to use from wherever. So if you want, Family Search might be a good place to start. And then if you kind of want to build on the research you are already doing, I would encourage you to use Ancestry as it's a more thorough approach to learning more about your own genealogy. So it's these are good because you could find copies of service pension records and also find out more information about your ancestors in general. So, um, this is a quick video on why ancestry is important, but also if you want to get here, I linked it from here immediately to the page on our website. If you wanted to know how to navigate to that from our homepage, you would just hit research online databases for adults, scroll down to ancestry. So, could use it here. Um, and then so the Ancestry has, you could use it in a myriad of ways to learn all about, immigration records, census, marriage, all of these types of collections and things you could learn about. But for our purposes today, we are going to click on the military option because that is what we're interested in learning about. So I do not have any ancestors who were here at the time. Um, but I know that my wife has done her own personal family history, and she does have a family member who did serve in the revolution. So if we put in his name, I'm not going to click exact on these as the spelling sometimes is a little different. Historically, this could sometimes be spelled Treadwell with just an E instead of an EA. It varies. And I've seen some records where he's born 1753 and somewhere it said 1752. So again, I'm not going to put exact for that either, but it should prop up if I do it. Okay, there we go. Yes. Um, so we see records related to war pensions. So again, I have a record of this man, Daniel Treadwell, um, eligible for a pension in the early 1800s. His Revolutionary War rolls, and so proof that he did serve in the Revolution, as he's listed as a combatant. Um, and here it's listing U.S. Civil War soldiers. That's not relevant, obviously. It's pulling up a different Nathaniel Treadwell. But here were service records, um, 1777. So I know that's correct. Um, And so if you it this is really important information for your own personal family history, your own genealogy, if you did this research. Um, and it's really something interesting that you could find out about your personal history. Family search, like I said, I can't do a full search here because I don't have an account, but if you wanted, you could just hit sign up, um, and you can make a free account. It's always free to use. It's really easy to use. They try to make it very easy on you, but um, I have pulled up, I mean, like directly to this page for United States rosters of Revolutionary War soldiers and sailors. And so if I put in same name, same birth year, it would pull up the same results, which is great because then you could then save those records and keep them for your own family history. It's also great because um, New Jersey has a good record of participating in Sons and Daughters of the Revolution chapters. So these are charity and um, kind of just historical organizations that keep the memory of the revolution, the spirit of the revolution alive. And so here is, let's see, here is the New Jersey Sons of the American Revolution um, page. And then I know the Daughters of the American Revolution, they actually have a chapter in New Brunswick. So it is very close by. It's been there an incredibly long time, and it's still active to this day. So, which is great because New Brunswick was an important site in the Revolution itself. So it's nice to see that legacy of history carry on to this day. But yeah, that's really great to see. Moving forward, um, so maps and battles. There's you could read the details of major battles of the American Revolution, and then I also pulled up a video series um, on YouTube that has more information about the battles as well. So if we click on these, um, so we could see they made this recently, and it's been very helpful if you want to kind of keep track of some of the basic, the more important battles of the Revolution, kind of what went on there. So we click on something local like Battle of Trenton. They'll tell us the date, which is very funny. It gives a little bit of snowfall in the area because it took place obviously December 26th. Very amusing graphic on their part. But it gives us a few paragraphs about it, a quick video history, who fought, who won, the impact, and the key figures. And does that for a number of battles. We see something like Monmouth as well, pulls up a lot of the same stuff, which is great because it's important to know these things. And it's also important to have it packaged in a way that's really easy to find out the basics. I've always want to find out basics, and that way, if I know that and I'm interested, I could always find out more down the line. Whoops. So something like this, we could see um, is this is like illustrated maps about the revolution. Um, And if we could see something like here we are in Ewing and Trenton, and it's showing the positioning of different forces, things like that. Um, and that's a great way to start if you want to visualize how the battles went and how they occurred. Um, Films and podcasts, Ken Burns' American Revolution documentary, which is wonderful, five-part series. PBS just released it a few months ago. Very comprehensive, but also makes it very palatable and easy to understand. So the whole thing is free on PBS through July 12th. After that, the first episode is available for free on YouTube and will remain that way going forward. So if we see that, um, here is, yeah, the first part, and all the other ones, all the other episodes are listed here, and they're all free to view, which is wonderful. I think it's great that they've made that free. It's an important way for people to understand our own history, and so I'm glad that they have done that. Um, the American Revolution Institute page. This is just a quick, they have a lot of very brief videos, but also very concise and to the point about a lot of different things related to the revolution, um, battles, um, different acts that were implemented, what was going on in different parts of the colonies, things like that. And again, all about 2 or 3 minutes, so really easy to digest, just helpful. And then the Revolutions podcast. This is a wonderful podcast series about the American Revolution, and um, it's about 15 episodes, and it's available here on YouTube, but it's also available um, on if you listen to podcasts through on your phone, something like that, it's available on there as well. All you would need to do is search Revolutions Podcast by Mike Duncan. That's the full name of it. Um, Visiting revolutionary sites. So I find this is a good way to learn is just to go actually where the revolutionary sites are in general. Um, see history firsthand. I find that's always one of the best ways to make sure you retain what you've learned about something like this. So, visual Revolutionary New Jersey is a great website. They have a visual guide to the important revolution sites that are from New Jersey. So, if we see, it kind of looks a mess. But what we could do is zoom in more. We use the plus sign, we keep zooming in, and this will take us um, where we can see more easily what these sites are. So we click on the different icons. So something like this, Princeton Battlefield. And if we want to learn more, and it gives us a really good synopsis of what the battle was about. Um, how to visit, what to see here, what is still, not just the history, but also what remains there as well, and why somebody might still want to visit even nowadays, which I think is really important because it's not just they're making a concerted effort to say, hey, we know why you might want to come to a place like this, and here's what you will be able to see. Um, so something like East Jersey Old Town Village is also a great thing, very local. Um, you know, right on right in Piscataway, so very close to East Brunswick. And still remains intact what an actual village looked like from the late 17 or early 1800s. Very well maintained, well preserved, um, and just this is a great resource to show what all the different all the different places that you could see that are really within a quick drive. Um, Here is a wonderful one as well. This is the original governor's mansion in Perth Amboy before Trenton was made the capital. So yeah, there's a really wealth of knowledge on there as well. This is the Museum of the American Revolution. It opened about 10 years ago, and it's in Philadelphia, right near Independence Hall, right near the Liberty Bell, all in the same complex. And it provides a virtual tour. Um, so if you want to kind of click through and see if you'd like to visit, I visited a few months ago. I thought it was great. Well worth your time. Lots of artifacts from the time period. Does a great job of showing um really the development of the war as it progressed over time as well. So, um, and this is the American Revolution Institute has a comprehensive collection of resources that are accessible for the general public. This is great because it's kind of like if you want a one-stop place to just learn about the revolution, this is where you could go. So it has Chronicling America, which we looked at before, Colonial America, North America, more information on that. Um, More George Washington papers, naval documents. We see a lot of yeah, uh, information from historical societies, New York Public Library. So there's a lot of great information on there. It's kind of just if you want one place to go to where you could find all the information you'd like, that would be the one to go to. And then Revolution book collections. PBS has a great book list for those who'd like to learn more about the revolution from who are all different ages. Um, so if you search a PBS book, American Revolution, this list will come up. Um, and then it has a lot of general reading, um, tons and tons of books about all different subjects. And then stuff for elementary school, middle school, high school. So it's great that they take into consideration different reading levels, military history, if that's more of your thing. Um, and then things again, voices of the time period. So really primary sources from people at the time who documented what it was like, and then graphic novels. So that's also a wonderful place to start as well. Further research questions, um, if anybody, I have everything hyperlinked. So if you need it, um, I can send you this presentation. All you have to do is shoot me an email at the email listed below, and I can get that right to you.